Check it out. I think we have a microphone. Tell me you can hear me now. Unbelievable, huh? Hopefully that worked. So check 1 2, check 1 2. Do you hear me okay? Off. Hey Robin, good evening. Can you hear me okay? I had to change. I actually had to put my camera on my laptop tonight. 10-4. Everything's good, huh? All right, good. So what I was saying, you guys couldn't hear me. Obviously, I'm doing some technical difficulty stuff here. What it is, I'm streaming on my laptop tonight. Haven't ever done it before, so figured it's a good idea to do it. And it's a good idea to do it because my main PC, my powerhouse computer, it's just on the fritz. So I got something going on with it. I got to rip it apart. All right, but we're in action. So, anyways, I'll have to look at my computer and figure out what's going on with it. I'm okay with working on computers, so I'll probably be able to figure it out. But it's probably going to take me a little bit of time to do so. And I had mentioned to you guys that I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit on doing the live streams at some point. I think we had a pretty good run there. I think we have a pretty good run here. So from January all the way up till now, we've streamed every Monday night except for one Monday night. So we've done pretty good, I think. It was a pretty good run. And I'm happy to call it with this stream tonight. And that doesn't mean I'm done with live streaming altogether. So let me explain what I'm actually thinking here. Is I'm going to get really busy, just personally, just things that I have going on my personal goals and my personal adventures, if you will. I'm going to spend some time on the highway. I'm going to be traveling on the Harley, so I'm not going to have as much time to sit down in a on a weekly schedule and spend some time with you. Yeah, we'll just call it summer break. That sounds good. But it seems to be good timing because my computer's kind of on the fritz anyways. I have Erie coming up, so I'm going to be displaced up at Erie for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm going to be running out to Sturgis for another 2 or 3 weeks. So it would have been shot to bits anyway. So that's what my schedule is going to look like. I'm still running my charters that I have here at the lake, but I'm not as busy because by design I kept this gap in my schedule so that I could do the things I want to do. So, yeah, tonight's going to be kind of the last stream, and I say that a little tongue in cheek because if I want to get on here and live stream, or if I just happen to be here on Monday night, I'll put it up and I'll do a live stream. And if it works out, it works out. And if it doesn't, I don't want you guys to be blocking out your time personally, because I know a lot of you are playing this like it's kind of like your Monday evening programming, if you will. And I appreciate it. It's really humbling. And I know a lot of you guys are watching it on the television, and so my viewership, my analytics on here tell me that it says that about 60 to 70% of my viewership comes on the television in the living room, which is kind of crazy to think. It's like these YouTube live streams and stuff, they've taken over for the family entertainment, if you will. So shout out to y'all who are watching it on the television tonight in the living room. Good evening. So there's a couple things coming up immediately. If you haven't watched the live or my doc update, I did. I talked a little bit about cutting back on the live streams. I also talked about the weekend coming up directly in front of us. That is paddling and bassin. I put that link down below in this video. If you guys can come out to that, I'd really like this to be a big weekend for it because the water's going to be ideal for this event. So everything seems to be pristine and perfect. So a lot of us are just going to bring tents out and we're going to tent Friday night. And if you've got little ones, or maybe you have, a spouse with kids and stuff, they could come out and do the camping thing with you Friday night. And then on Saturday morning, you could jump on the boat and float down. And, you can play it how you want. But what I'm saying is very family friendly stuff. There's no cost to the camping. You just show up and there's ample camping for as many people that want to come. I've actually talked to them already at the borough, and they said if we have overflow, like a whole bunch of people, like if it gets really fun and crazy, we really get run and a lot of folks, it's fine. We can camp right in the ball field. We don't have to be over in the tent camping sections, the actual designated camping areas. They said it's okay if we filter out onto the field there. And so we essentially have a whole ball field plus the grassy areas surrounding it. We can camp in any of it. So it's really no problem at all. So bring everybody, everyone. All right. I'm glad it's working out. I honestly tonight I came to you guys pretty, this is just kind of like a personal conversation tonight with you. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of what my schedule is, kind of what I'm thinking. I didn't want to leave anybody out there unaware. So I don't have anything on my agenda. I can't share my screen with you. So it's really just discussion. I can do some like question answer stuff. And really, I don't mind if that goes way off track. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, I don't care if it's just asking me, what color my hair is whenever I let it grow in. I don't care what it is. So when I let it grow in, right? It comes in really good on the sides, so I know what color it comes in on. But if you guys have any questions at all, you guys just want to talk, that's what I'm here for. Short and sweet of it is I'm here just to make sure people knew that this is the last stream that they can count on. And there might be a few pop-ups here and there, but ultimately this is the last one that I want you guys to be expecting to be able to catch up with me on. So, you guys have any questions for me? You guys want to direct this conversation at all? Just let me know. And listen, I know that's goofy. I know, not everybody's used to getting into the chat and saying things in there. Um, you know, it's not a big deal. I mean, you guys can shoot me a text too. My phone's over there, but I guess I'd hear it come through. But it's really best if you just use the chat here. So I'd appreciate if you could. But if you're watching on your television, maybe that's what you got to do. You got to send me. Let me go grab my phone. I'm going to grab my phone. If you guys want to text me, I want to have it. I'm going to make this as simple as I can. It's not just for the tech savvy people. I want to make sure that the boomers can get in on this too. The boomers. So I'm hanging out here at camp at Fish Camp. And you guys are going to get to know Fish Camp here moving forward too, because we're going to do some stuff here, right here at this camper that I have set up here at Rough and Ready Campground. This is going to be a part of what we have moving forward. It's going to be fun. We're going to get together and hang around the fire a little bit. Give us the option to, anyways. No, I did not pick a day. And Phil, that's just because. So, Raystown River Adventures, they're in the chat section. He and I are having a conversation. We're going to do something that I've been toying with for probably 2 years now. Ever since Marcus and I floated the fall edition of Paddling and Bassin', is I was toying with this idea of making that a John boat event. And I was going to do down there. It's down by Newport area. Anyways, there's a campground down there, and there's a good area it's a pretty good area there right in front of the campground. My thought was, excuse me, was to camp at the campground and then just use our John boats right there in front. And maybe just do that like a weekend little thing where we just hang out in the fall. We just motor around right there in front of the camp and do some fishing. But since that has kind of gone to the wayside, but now I have this John boat that I've been running. Phil and I started talking about it, and I was like, yes, we should do a John boat event. And so he and I got discussing it about possibly doing it at Weaver Falls. Now we can move this year to year. We have flexibility. Phil and I can just make it what we want it to make, So I'm talking about Phil, but that's Raystown River Adventures. You guys can click on his name there and go check out his channel. He just was fishing for trout. So there's a new video up there, and he has this great little honey hole where he just goes up and he pulls trout out, kind of hand over fist. So save that spot. But we talked about it, and I suggested Weaver Falls, and then the target species would be perch. There is a good reason why we should be targeting perch. Well, I can think of at least two good reasons why we should be targeting perch at Raystown Lake. First and foremost, they're good eating. They're good eating. They're super simple to fillet, and you can just throw them into the skillet, and you got an instant fish fry. And usually you can catch them, in high quantities. Maybe that's a third reason. You're going to be catching them because there's a lot of them. The big reason at Raystown Lake why we would focus fish on perch is because they are a nuisance to our fry stripers. So our striper fingerlings, our little fries and our fingerlings, those perch, they predate on them. So if we want to save or support the maturing of our fry and our fingerling striper at Raystown Lake, we need to be targeting the white perch. So my idea that I was tossing around here with Phil was to simply do like a morning John boat perch fishing gathering event. There's not a competition, there's no like prizes, and it's nothing like that. But what it is we all would get our John boats and we would just fish in the morning up till lunchtime. And then at lunchtime we'd meet back at the dock. And I told him that I could bring my fillet board out and we could do a little fillet presentation. I could fillet a few perch up. And if people want to fillet them, using that my table, they could do that. But the idea is just a good reason for us to get together, get our John boats out, and go catch something that's fairly easy to target, and it helps the fishery at Raystown Lake. So I'm encouraging you guys with the white perch to be 100% harvest on those. I'm a believer. 100% harvest on white perch. And if you need to know how to fillet them, good news. I've been doing Fish Fillet Friday videos, and perch is going to be a regular on that series. So I know tonight's live stream's not going to be as informative and engaging and all that stuff. So I know I'm going to have people kind of like coming and going tonight. So do me a favor if you could just like the video on your way out so that helps the algorithm. But if you guys want to reach out to me at any time, you can shoot me a text or you can make a phone call if you want to go on a charter. And if you're thinking about going up to Lake Erie with me this year, we should be talking real soon here because those dates, basically what I'm doing is I'm reserving a campsite up there, and if I get booked up, I'll reserve more time. But right now, I think I have the block of time that I'm going to work with, and if it doesn't work with the time you're thinking of going to Erie, then I need to adjust, and I need to do that at least a little bit ahead of time so that somebody doesn't take the site. So if you're thinking about going to Lake Erie, please let me know. I am going to be fishing here at Raystown yet for the charters, so that's not off the list or anything like that. It's just I'm going to be hit or miss with my summer schedule. And it is summer. I guess I should talk about summer fishing at Raystown Lake. I hinted about summer fishing at Raystown Lake, but there are a few things that you can do to, we'll say, focus your efforts. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that during this stream. That way I have a subject, something to kind of build off, and we can move from there. And there's something educational about going on here. Phil says he just got the 14-foot trailer registration up today, so he's excited to get it out. Have the John boat content coming up. Nice. Yeah, the John boat fishing community at Raystown Lake is a lot bigger than I think most of us really understand. The guys who meet, so you'll have like two guys that meet up at the dock on, every Wednesday morning. They meet at the dock up at Weaver's. They get on the John boat and they go out and they catch crappie and perch till lunchtime. Then they go back to the garage and fillet them up, and they each go home with a bag of fish. And I think that that's a beautiful thing, guys. You want to know what my retirement looks like? It's going to look like that. I'm going to have a John boat where I meet up with a buddy or two each week, and we just go hammer crappie, and we're done by lunchtime. But the John boat communities, yeah, like Phil's saying, it's a lot bigger and they're everywhere. I I'm just assuming that most of us run up and down that lake and we probably pass 20 or 30 John boats and we never even see them. They're over along the side of those banks, and those boats are flat enough and it's just a small enough imprint that it doesn't just jump out at us. I'm sure that we zip up and down that lake and we drive right past the John boat guys and we just don't notice they're there. But they're a huge portion of the Raystown community. They're everywhere. And if you get a John boat yourself, you'll start to notice that the trailers that are used for John boats are very, unique. You can identify them. So when you go pull into the parking lot, you have these trucks, and then you look down the row, and it's like every other one is a John boat trailer. You're like, oh, I'm in good company. Yeah, it's not just you, man. There's a lot. I tell you, there's at Raystown Lake, there's probably two main boats on the lake, and the John boat is definitely one of them. And I think probably just after that, it's the pontoon boat. So it is Raystown Lake. I've said this for a long time. It is a pontoon boat lake. So as far as a family boat and a fishing boat, it is a pontoon boat lake. Before that, because that expense is a little bit higher, a lot of guys end up with a John boat. And even when you get the pontoon boat, you tend to hold on to the John boat. So yeah, they're everywhere. It's part of the community. So I'll tell you, let's talk on summer fishing. Summer fishing at Raystown Lake. This is probably the time of year when most people are coming to the lake. So we're going to see the biggest volume or the biggest plug of the population at Raystown Lake coming during these summer months. That is going to create some chaos at the lake. A lot of those boats are not necessarily fishermen boats, right? They're not fishing boats. They're a lot of you have jet skis and party boats, we'll call them, or houseboats even. You know how it is. It's a lake, but we get ocean vessels on it. It's because Raystown Lake is within driving distance for a couple cities here, or at least for the surrounding area. Raystown Lake is the biggest lake that they can go to with their vessel that doesn't have a horsepower or speed limit restriction. So that opens the floodgates. So people come here so they can run those big vessels and big engines. They have these machines they've put a lot of time, energy, and money into, and they need to run them. They can't let them sit in the garage. I don't have any hate for it, yet it does create energy at the lake. There is some chaos associated. So we as fishermen have to find a way to navigate, we'll say, in between those high energy times and the low energy. And so whenever it dips, whenever the energy on the lake goes down, that's whenever the fishing gets good. If you can, first and foremost, if you can come out during the week, you're going to be much better off. During the week, you're still going to have some boats moving up and down the water, of course. It is Raystown Lake. It's going to be like that. But what you'll find is during the week, you'll just have maybe probably less than half of the traffic. So less than half of the boats. So instead of being, you know, 8 boats wide going up and down the lake, you'll only be 4 boats wide. It still sounds crazy. Yeah, I see that, Austin. Yeah. So the weekends are, like Austin saying, it's usually the only option that most people have. You as an individual may be able to come up during the week, but there's somebody in your family or whoever you meet up with to go fishing. It's just the schedules don't usually work out until the weekend. I get that. That being said, I'll point out the fact that we do have evenings. So evenings is available to us. And I'll tell you, if you can get on the water even for like 3 or 4 hours in the evening after work, you can have a great fishing trip. You just need to know, have a little bit of target to you, be able to focus where you're putting on and how you're actually fishing. So what you're doing, your actual presentation in water. But you can still be very effective even if you're only out there for a couple hours. I have a buddy who is a second shift guy, and when he gets done at work, gets done at 11 p.m., or is it 10 p.m., whatever it is, he goes straight to the lake and he fishes until that sun comes up. And he goes home and sleeps and goes back to work. He's one individual, though. He's not looking to take anybody with him. So it works for him. The best time to hit the lake, though, is going to be during the week, in the evenings, or, like I said in the dock update, from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. So overnight. So not just the evening hours, but all the way through the night. And I'll point these two things out to you. When it comes to the fish themselves and how they respond to all this energy and all this activity that's on the water, you're going to find that the longer that the water kind of settles out, the better. What I mean by that is if the heavy traffic of all the boats running up and down the lake, if that were to shut down at dark, about 3 to 4 hours later is about whenever you're going to see a peak in fishing activity. So we'll say the last boats are running up and down the water about 8 p.m. So right around 11 or midnight, you're going to see a peak in activity for fishing. That's why the evening can be very effective for you. So if you come in and you put on the water right at dusk, and you go out and you find your spot and you just bank angle, you just bank up and put some lines out for, say, 3 or 4 hours, you're going to hit that peak in fishing activity. Yeah, you're going to get home at 2 in the morning. You'll be a little groggy going to work in the morning, but you can do that. You can do an evening fish. You might not want to do that every day, but you can play it how you want to play it. And then the other thing I'll say is during the week, I'm going to recommend, if you have the option, you wait until later in the week to go, like Wednesday. Because if you can get like 3 days with activity being lower, give the water a chance to kind of just slow down and kind of get back into a routine, you'll find that the fish are less stirred up. They're more predictable. They'll be doing what the fish do, and you'll be able to predict it a little bit easier. So either through the evening, overnight, or like I said, later in the week, like Wednesday. That'd be a good idea. So there's some simple tips to kind of help you navigate the summer. Just a couple ideas. Yeah, so Phil's talking about he's been told that it's been crazy to take a john boat out on the lake. I'll tell you, I found that out after I had been fishing that lake for about 4.5 years on a john boat. That's when I finally started like hearing people talk about john boat fishing the Raised Town Lake, and they said you just shouldn't do it. That it's dangerous. If you go out there, you're guaranteed to get, you're going to be swimming to the bank. It's just a terrible idea. Or, oh, here's another point that I'll share with you for john boat fishing. If you do take the john boat, you can only stay to the no wake zones. Now, though I think that's a good idea, that's the other tip to avoid the chaos of summer is to go to the no wake zones to fish. There's still people going plane back in the no wake zone, but there's less of it back there. So it's a little bit more massive areas of no wake zones at Raised Town Lake. So just learn where they are and, maybe focus them if you can with the john boat. But I do want to assure you that even on a john boat, you can fish every nook and cranny of that entire lake. There's nowhere on that lake that you cannot go. You got to keep your mind about you and still be very aware, more aware than you would be on your bigger vessels. I ride motorcycle. So if you ride motorcycle, this is a good analogy. When you're driving a car, it's hard to imagine getting into an accident. It feels like you're on rails. Like everything's encased in that cage we call it. You're inside the bubble, inside the cube, inside all this stuff is protecting you. You're not getting hit in the face with whatever dust is being thrown up from the car in front of you, or rocks being flung at you by oncoming traffic. The bugs aren't nailing you in the face every, 15 seconds. At night, it's terrible. You got moths that they'll take your glasses off. You're not being attacked by the elements when you're inside a car. When you lay into a turn, if there's gravel on the road in a car, you just go right over it. On the motorcycle, when you go over it, the motorcycle has a tendency to do this thing and it'll stand you up. And what I'm saying is you have to be hyper aware on the motorcycle. Your awareness has to be up here. I love riding. Guys, I'll talk about riding till the day I die. It might be the reason I die. But that highway is unforgiving. You experience the temperature shifts, and whenever you're moving with the machine and you roll into the turns and you come back out them, when you're accelerating and you feel the G force pushing you back into the seat of the Harley of the motorcycle, everything about riding is just exhilarating and good. But you might die because that's the problem. I would say that John boating at Raystown Lake, John boating in general, has a lot of similarities to being on a motorcycle on the highway. Whereas you have a normal vessel, that's like driving a car. Everything's a lot more forgiving. You're not in as much danger if you have a larger vessel. If you're the big vessel, you are the danger, is what I'm saying. So the small vessel has to be hyper aware. So if you're on the water on a John boat, be hyper aware. On the subject also, night fishing. Guys, can we quit going out at night and going on full plane? I think that's just a terrible idea, guys. If you go out at night, put in the dock that's closest to where you want to target and just motor out. Don't take it on plane, guys. There's just too much that can go wrong out there. And I know everybody thinks they'll be able to react, but you just can't. I don't know if you figured this out yet, but your boat doesn't have brakes. All you can do is hit it into reverse. And I'm telling you, you are not getting that boat into reverse before you collide with whatever it was you were trying to avoid. You're not even going to shift the gear. You might get it to neutral. Yeah, Phil, I forgot about him. He was a John boater. I don't want to pick on him. I think he was just drunk. Phil and I went fishing here. What is that? I don't know, 3 weeks ago or something like that. And we went out all night. We went out and we're banked. We're not banked up, but I was anchored. And I'm telling you, it was a stone throw from the bank. I mean, I could cast and hit the bank. You know what I mean? It was right there. But we were close to the bank because that was the spot. And we're sitting there, and there was upstream from us, a John boat comes out. He must have had a spotlight or something. He's shining around, and he was doing some like weird serpentine back and forth across the channel. And I'm pretty sure, and I don't know for sure. Phil said that it might be that he hit that big stump, so it might have been he bottomed out there. But I thought that he ran aground at one point. But there is a big stump, and you could like we hit it whenever we were rolling. So that's how we figured it out. But he may have just hit that. So whether it was that or he ran aground, whatever it was, about maybe 30 minutes later or something like that, he finally found the shoreline. And it seemed to me, anyways, that he put the spotlight on the shoreline and he just turned that boat engine on and he just followed that shoreline like he couldn't see any further than the shoreline. And he came down right between us and the bank. And I'm telling you, it wasn't a hard cast. I don't know what to even say. It was 25 yards. 25 yards between us and the bank, probably less than that, probably 20 yards. And he just came through there. It wasn't on plane or anything, but he was motoring, you know what I mean? So he had a spotlight out. He shined it on us. He shined it on the bank, and he just threaded that needle right past us. We were here. The bank was there. and he just threaded that needle right between us. We're rocking and stuff, and Phil and I were just looking at each other like, what is this guy doing? This is the stuff you'll see at Raystown Lake because not everybody's thinking clearly. Don't let that be you. Don't boat like that. Take it wide, go around. Don't get don't get drunk and then try to drive. Guys, do you guys understand this? That if you are inebriated and you're operating a boat, that is a DUI. If you guys did not know that, now you know that. You cannot operate the boat under the influence. So don't play with that. Don't play with that. The guys, I mean, the fish and boat guys, they'll love to pull you over and have a conversation with you. So with the summertime fishing, there's still great opportunities to have. Just you keep your head about you. Keep your head about. I'll stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes, guys. If you guys have any questions, fire 'em at me. I'm just this is pretty much the stream tonight. We're just hanging out. My PC has gone down. That's why I'm streaming from the laptop and stuff. So I got to do a bit of work on it. I'm up for the challenge. I built that PC. It's my second one I built, so I understand computers a little bit, and I think I know what it is. But anyways, so I have that to address. So it's that coupled and with my schedule being kind of chaotic here over the next 2 months or so. I'm just expecting to be pulled away from live streams for you guys. So if I'm a little hit and miss with my live streams or my doc updates or any of my video releases and such, that's all it is. I'm just living life. Like you guys are out enjoying life and stuff. I'm doing the same thing. You guys can follow my other channel. It's linked down below. It's on the motorcycle and music stuff. I don't know if you guys know this. I play guitar and sing and stuff, but I ride and travel and I do videos on that. I think a lot of you guys met me there first, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I have 2 channels. It's down below. It's just called Randall Rydes. This channel's Randall Rydes Fishing. That one's Randall Rydes. That's all. Sub it up if you haven't already. But I'll probably be putting a little attention into the other channel for a little bit. I've been missing the highway. I have been riding a lot, though. So I know some of you guys ride too. And I've definitely put some miles on the bike. So it's ready. It's running good. It's ready to carry me off wherever I want to go. And I am ready. So over the summer here, just be thinking. And I did do the doc update too. If you haven't watched the doc update, make sure you hit that up after we shut this live stream down. But other than that, I think that's all I needed to tell you guys. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? So this weekend is paddling and bassing. Thank you, I will. So this weekend's paddling and bassing. You guys by now have seen a couple videos from it, and maybe you watched my promo and all that stuff. I've been talking about it with the live stream, how to fish the Juniata and such. I want to encourage you guys that if you haven't done a kayaking trip, come out and do this one. This is the one that you want to participate in. There's good reasons for that. It's a designated stretch with people who have floated it many times. So we're there to help out. So we're qualified. And the water conditions are ideal, which means it's safe for kids. My kids are coming, and we got a ton of people coming now. So we've got a lot of folks coming out to it. We're going to do 2 plugs. So we're going to meet up here this Friday night, and then Saturday morning, first light, first plug goes, and then an hour later, the second plug will go. So whichever plug you want to be a part of, you just join. But that's this weekend, and it's coming up fast, and it's going to be a good time. I did a voluntary registration link down below if you guys want to help cover the cost of pizzas. We usually get a pizza. Hey, Chad. Good evening. But I appreciate you guys stopping in. You guys continue to support me. During the time that I'm not releasing videos, do me this huge favor. when you are going to Amazon to do your shopping, come to one of my videos and follow one of my Amazon affiliate links. When you go to Amazon, they'll do a commission and send it out to me. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's just a way you can support my channel and my business without spending anything extra. And then look forward to the fall. Man, it's crazy to think that paddling and bassin is here already. We've already done we've already done the Raystown Rendezvous. We've already done the bank angling event up at Weaver Falls. And now we're going to do paddling and bassin. And that's 3 of the 4 events of the year that I'm going to do. What's the 4th event? Fishin' and chillin'. For Fishin' and chillin', we'll be right back at the same Lions Club that we did the Raystown Rendezvous at. The Raystown Rendezvous was the beginning of the fishing year, and Fishin' and chillin' is the bookend at the end of the fishing year. So that's how it looks. And I'll talk more about fishing and chilling with you as we get closer, but that's still a few months out. But right now, paddling and bassin directly in front of us. If you guys want to join us, please come. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to do the registration. It's a voluntary thing. And but hopefully you do participate in the event. Most importantly, come to the event and watch the live stream that I just did last week, where I break down how to fish the Juniata. So you're not blind coming into it. If nothing else, get your kayak and take one fishing rod and just throw what you know. Go bassin and have a blast. It's going to be a good time. Super simple float, and we're there to support you, help you out, shuttling, your kayak and your vehicles and stuff. We got your back. I guess that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shut the stream down. I know it's a short one tonight, but that's what it was supposed to be. That's the last stream for a stretch that you can count on. And with a little luck, we'll catch up a few times between here and fishing and chilling. But I'll talk to you guys in dock updates and stuff. I'll make sure you guys have some warning. I appreciate all the love, all the respect that I get from the community. Thank you for continuing to tune in and watching these videos all the way through to the end. And if you really want to support me, go back and watch my old videos. That'll be a fun one. All right, guys, have a good night. I'm going to let you go with that. Much love, much respect. Good night.